Kumar Rocker here on the K&C Masterpiece on 105.3 The Fan. You like to pitch baseballs, huh?
I love pitching. Yeah.
Now, it was...
How different would this interview go if he was like, not
It would have changed everything
really.
immediately. Now, I think it was during COVID I'd seen you. And I was like, oh, this guy right here, I want him to be a Texas Ranger. So I've been on the Rocker wagon for a long time now.
I can confirm that. I've been obsessed with you being on this team for about 5 years because of him. He goes, dude, just don't even look at anybody else. And I was like, oh, okay, that feels like bad scouting, but all right.
So what is that, like the transition from what you experienced last year to kind of what you're expecting this year?
It's something to build off from last year and kind of putting it to the test again, putting the routine, putting the work habits together again and just over a longer period of time.
When you talk about putting it to the test, is that, I mean, I know physically, but how much of it is mental as well?
A lot of it, we all know the famous quote, but just finding a way to make each day kind of easier in a way and just knowing your body, knowing the time it takes, and then knowing it's going to be a long year.
So last year, I'm talking to Chris Young after I believe you're starting Seattle, and I was really impressed with how calm you were on the mound. Is there anything, let's say when chaos is happening, second and third, one out or something like that, is there any self-talk you do to yourself or breathing technique to stay in just kind of a calm state?
Nothing specific I can go to, but I try to play the game. At the end of the day, it's a game, and it's got to be played. It's entertaining, and it's going to go one way or another.
With that in mind, do you take it easy on yourself, or do you feel like you're tough on yourself? If things don't go your way?
I would definitely say I'm tough on myself. I've learned to be less, handle it off the field when I go home and stuff like that. But, every day I come to the field with an expectation and try not to be too hard on myself.
Do you take the time to also appreciate your successes? I know you're not going to, hey, let's have a party for me, but do you appreciate that as it's going along?
I think I do. I think there's times it shows up, and all you can do is smile and be happy about it, and you got to wake up and do it the next day.
Now, my co-host, when he was pitching, Charlie Huff, was one of his pitching coaches, and we were talking to him, and he said, look, Mike, you didn't have a lot of velocity.
So do you know who Charlie Huff is?
He was his former knuckleballer.
He was like a major leaguer for 20 years through knuckleballs.
That was the smirk on his face. I get it now. But he was like, you didn't have a lot of velocity, you weren't really great at all these things, but you looked like a pitcher on the mound. Right. And when you're on the mound, you look intimidating. Was there a pitcher that you were like, I want to look like him whenever I grow up?
I grew up watching Pedro, and then obviously we're Texas Rangers fans, Josh Hamilton, but the way Pedro pitched, CC, guys like that, those are the ones I grew up and beat over.
Is there a specific, the presence? Do you work on a presence, or is it just a natural thing?
I think you see it with some guys, and just, for instance, Leiter, the way he throws his fastball, it's on a rope. The way Pedro throws his fastball, it's on a rope. Certain guys got certain hop to certain things.
Do you think if an old man from the opposing team charged at you, you'd be able to throw him to the ground?
Depends the situation, but I hope to think not that I would do that.
Is there a certain guy that you're hoping to face this year in the major leagues and strike out?
Oh man, there's a couple on the plate. I don't want to jinx myself, but I got them posted.
We talked with Sebastian Walcott earlier, and he had what I think is the outrageous breakfast bread opinion that French toast is the last behind waffles and pancakes. How do you fall on that?
I'm not a big French toast guy, but I can say I think my mom makes the best pancakes. It's almost like a crepe, so I roll that way.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Was that an all-time growing up thing? Or
always, pancake day was a big day on the house. You get bacon with it and some nice eggs.
What's the topping? Is it did you get
I'm syrup and butter, nothing crazy. No fruit for me. Yeah, no fruit for me.
Do you feel like you get judgment for that? Because I'm like that too, and I feel like I get judged for that.
I grew up eating boring food to begin with. I'm just now kind of adding onions, lettuce, and things like that. It started slow, you know what I mean?
Did you say you're hiding onions in your own food?
Adding.
Oh, adding. Okay, I thought he was, because Mike hides onions and stuff in his food for his kids.
That SpongeBob episode.
Yes, so we had an incident here years ago where our boss made this amazing nacho spread, and then he dropped onions all over it, and I just walked to the fridge and started making a sandwich, and I felt really bad, but he's my boss. I'm not going to go, I'm not eating this crap.
That's hilarious. It was good till it wasn't. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
good. That's
exactly.
good. That's good.
Well, hey, man, we really appreciate the time. Thank you very much.